Again, it is so hard from this position in real time without any other input except what's here, to know why Ukraine's being attacked, or why whatever. But they are showing on the nightly news tonight some solidarity with the affected. The Met Opera is singing in their honor.
And finally tonight here, the show of solidarity for Ukraine here in the U.S. and all over the world. And a powerful moment here in New York City. Opening night at the Met Opera, and they chose to begin with the Ukrainian national anthem.
I've never heard this before. I don't frequent the Met Opera since I've been here. I wouldn't know who to go with. I don't know how much it is, and I really haven't had money to go.
The audience standing. And we would learn that one of the performers center stage, his hand over his heart, is 24-year-old baritone Vlad Boyovsky. Vlad is from Ukraine. His family still there. They asked Vlad to help teach them the words. The Met sang tonight, "We stand in solidarity with Ukraine and dedicate the rest of our season to their courage." That young baritone from Ukraine saying this tribute was maybe the most emotional moment of my life. Met. So many of you have been asking, how can you help? If you would like to help the humanitarian effort in Ukraine, you can go to unicefusa.org/ABC. Thank you for watching. I'm David Muir. Good night.
Everything these days seems to be a website. There's no longer like telephone help. Again, I'm not a big fan of the telephone myself, but the internet seems to be worse. This is what they're reporting.
And their estates.
Support.
Could these oligarchs be a way of finally getting to Putin to influence his decisions moving forward? James Longman from Moscow again tonight.
Tonight, the economic pressure on Vladimir Putin and his inner circle intensifying. Russia's push into Ukraine hitting the 1-week mark. The US now threatening to seize the assets of any Russian oligarch, wealthy businessman with ties to the Kremlin, that violates its sanctions.
We will freeze and seize their yachts, their private jets, their opulent estates in world capitals.
The US not releasing new names yet, but this week the...
Stand and send an unmistakable signal to the world. Ukraine. Thank you.
Biden vowing to keep up the economic and political pressure on Putin.
He has no idea what's coming.
At the UN today, the General Assembly condemning Russia's invasion in an historic 141-5 vote. Russia...
I don't know what that means.
With even allies like Cuba and Iran abstaining. UN officials now say the fighting's forced more than 1 million refugees from the country and predict many more are likely to leave as the Russian onslaught continues.
Now, my question is, with these refugees, who look more relative to myself, why, isn't there some form of plan for them, like emergency plan, should they be forced, and where they know to go? What I'm unclear of that's in Europe, I'm in North America. What I'm confused about is the refugees that have made it to North America that are not the refugees that they're speaking of over the past 4 decades. I don't even know if they are refugees, the people that have come here. It's been very confusing, but the people arriving look non-familial here. And it seems to be a growing civilian movement with the White House turning to a non-family member, being Obama, and then some other things that happened. I mean, they say domestic terrorism is what they call it. Obama getting into the White House is one of the biggest domestic terrorist events that nobody speaks of. I mean, how does nobody how does anybody, does South Dakota know what happened? I mean, it's a little confusing. They, they say, the humans say a lot of things, but at some point you have to stand up and say no. You can't keep shipping relatives here and growing in numbers. It makes living here and managing New York and other areas dangerous. But this is what's going on around the same time. Also outside, the moon is missing. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know how the moon goes missing. I just know in the night sky, some of the stars and the constellations are back, or what look like constellations, or were explained as constellations. But I do not know what happened to the larger feature that they call a moon since I've been little. It just disappeared. It's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza, it's Earth, solar system, Milky Way, universe, galaxies, broken. It's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361.